to celebrate lecture number 1500. Peace be with you.
Hello everyone, and most welcome to the magnificent 1500 of the series. 1500. It is incredible. I think we now hold the record of most videos posted on YouTube in the area of philosophy of science, philosophy, neurology, psychology, Heidegger, Derrida, Merleau-Ponty, Marx Torlov, fractality, chaos theory, quantum mechanics, Lee Smolin, Roberto Anga, Carlo Rovelli, not to be forgotten. Any more names? What do we have? Nietzsche, Kierkegaard,
St. Paul,
St. Paul,
Hans Ruin,
of Södertörn University, whom we met earlier this day. Kalle held its magnificent seminar to a great avail and success to everyone. And today, to celebrate this, it's the big book by Peter Salmon, a biography of Jacques Derrida. An event, perhaps, it's named. It's the start of deconstruction in the year 1966. Happened to be my birth year as well. It's just a coincidence, nothing to exaggerate about. And I will listen carefully to the sounds of this local church, St. Clair, I think it would be in English, Sancta Clara, where the tombstone of Carl Michael Bellman, the most famed musician, troubadour, singer-songwriter of the late 18th century, is entombed. And now we even got some sunshine here shining on us. And we go into the introduction. It's page 1. It's actually 1 written here. Introduction. Perhaps something has occurred in the history of the concept of structure that could be called an event. If this loaded word did not entail a meaning, which it is precisely the function of structural or structuralist thought to reduce or to suspect. But let me use the term event anyway, employing it with caution and as if in quotation marks. On the 21st of October 1966, a little-known 36-year-old French philosophy teacher, took to the stage at a conference on structuralism at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. To deliver a paper titled Structure, Sign and Play, in the discourse of the human sciences. The symposium, portentously titled The Language of Criticism and the Sciences of Man, had been running for 3 days and was a huge intellectual event, bringing together over 100 philosophers, literary critics, ethnographers, anthropologists, psychoanalysts, and other cultural theorists from 8 countries. Speakers included Roland Barthes, Jean Hippolyte, Hans-Georg Gadamer, Northrop Frye, Svetan Todorov, and Jacques Lacan. While the attendees included future intellectual stars such as Paul de Man and Joseph Hillis Miller. Of the prominent names in structuralism, only Michel Foucault was absent. The symposium was organized to introduce structuralism into America. Structuralism was rapidly replacing the existentialism of Sartre, Camus, and de Beauvoir as the dominant philosophical trend in France, taking its lead from the linguistics of Ferdinand de Saussure and the anthropology of Claude Lévi-Strauss, and the underpinning by Freud and Marx. Structuralism rejected human-centered philosophy. Instead, it proposed that all elements of human culture and all phenomena of human life could only be understood as being part of a structure, and any explanation of motives, actions, and behavior had to overcome the illusion of the free subject. Everything could only be explained by its interrelationship to other parts of the scheme. These insights were applied across a range of disciplines. In literature, structuralism moved away from the model of authorial intention, the work as a creation of a single mind which knew what it was doing during the creative process, and which produced a work whose effect corresponded more or less with what the author was trying to do, to a model which saw the meaning of a work as being produced by its place within a system of shared narrative techniques, shared tropes, shared conventions, and assumed worldviews. Meaning is produced by the work's place in a genre, by the circumstances of its production, and by the social and intellectual and cultural position of the reader. Derrida had only been invited to the conference at the last moment, after the Belgian anthropologist Luc de Husch was unable to attend. He came on the recommendation of the director of the École Normale Supérieure, Jean Hippolyte, who provided what was hardly a ringing endorsement. "I think," said Hippolyte, "he would be somebody who would come." Derrida was the final speaker on the final day. He remained a silent observer for much of the symposium. He looked on as Lacan rose to his feet with obscure questions at the end of each lecture, and as Barthes gently asked for clarifications on various moot points. Eventually, however, Derrida, unused to speak into large audiences, took to the stage, quietly shuffled his notes, and began. Perhaps something has occurred in the history of the concept of structure that could be called an event. He spoke for less than half an hour, but by the time he was finished, the entire structuralist project was in doubt, if not dead. An event had occurred, the birth of deconstruction. And now I'm going to page 103. Chapter 5, page 103. An event, perhaps. I am very mistrustful whenever people identify historical breaks, or when they say, "This begins there." I have never done that, and I believe I have even sat down here and there reservations with regard to this type of periodization and distribution from ear or the other. And this is from Ellipsis. Why would one mourn for the center? Is not the center, the absence of play and difference, another name for death? The 1966 Baltimore Colloquium was organized by Richard Maxey, then acting director of the newly instituted Humanities Center, and the literary critic Eugenio Donato. Maxey was a polymath whose huge personal library, some 70,000 volumes, dwarfed even Derrida's eventual collection. There's no topic in the world that bores him, noted the colleague, and he was famed for his overwhelming intellectual enthusiasm for riding a Harley Davidson to work, for living on 3 hours of sleep and pipe smoke. He was a revolutionary thinker in his own right, in that the Humanities Center was the first interdisciplinary department at an American university. Maxey had organized a conference to introduce structuralism to American intellectual life. It was already the dominant theoretical discipline in France, having displaced the existentialism of Sartre, de Beauvoir, and Camus. As Maxey noted in his opening address, structuralism called into question the notion of the subject, the human being, however defined as being central. And here we had to skip a little bit and put in a chair for the 1500. There is a change in the circumstances of the atmosphere, I'm afraid. We will now open the bottle of port and celebrate. Do take care of that one. We have a missing person today, and that is our dear fellow thinker Henrik Gustafsson. We'll also cheer for his health today. And the bottom is up. Whoops. Here it goes. A little bit for Kalle. And a little bit for me.
No. Little bit for you. Much to me.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
Come here to the camera, Kalle. You can raise it even. Can you hold that one for a sec? Let's raise the camera. I forgot that.
Oi. Careful with the microphone.
Where do we raise it? Have I forgotten that?
I should have.
I'm feeling confused now. Is that really the maximum?
I think check if you see me in the camera.
I missed that one.
Check
now
it. You should perhaps check. Do you see me?
Yes, I see you loud and clear. There you are, Kalle.
This is Red Port. Porto Ruby from Portugal.
It's nice and sweet, just as Kalle wanted it. Cheers. Skål. Salud. Salut.
Salut för Guru Hans.
No, for Jacques Derrida and for 1966. Thank you very much, Kalle, for mentioning this here. Very kind of you. Cheers.
Yes. And now perhaps a short prayer for our friend Henrik.
Yes. A prayer for our colleague Henrik, who has experienced just today kidney problems. And I really hope for the best for him. I feel awfully sad about this. And a chair maybe a little bit more for me.
I was joking earlier, of course.
No worries, Kalle. We know your humor. Thank you, my friend, participating.
Vi måste alltså share för Hans Ruin who made this trip possible.
Very nice, very
Yes,
nice.
yes.
Hans Ruin.
Hans Ruin.
Hans Ruin, great professor of the philosophical institution, I guess. Or
Yeah, absolutely.
of Södertörn.
Long live Hans Ruin also, and Henrik, our friend, who's also.
And thank you all you viewing over there. Chaim, is you seeing this? It's just cheer for you back in, I guess, Israel. You're still there. And I beg your pardon the slow reading tone that's been recently. It will develop into a faster pace as time goes. We need to learn these subjects as well. Yeah.
Will it rain or not?
Nobody knows.
No.
But cheers anyway. Kippis. We will continue the lecture indoors somewhere. To pause quickly.
Also stop.
We could stop
I
and
think it's
make
best
it B level. It's very nice, this port. I haven't had pork yet. I haven't eaten today, so if you want more, you can.
Let me give it a point, a grade. Of 10 possible, it has 7 or 8. I have to be honest.
It's very good.
A 7.
Full-bodied, strong. It has maybe some barrel to it, maybe. Yeah, I think some barrel. So we put a stop. We're gonna back at 1500 B.